Joseph Carlson. Joseph Carlson has a brand new video out here I want to react to. I just got done watching it and I thought this was a great video to react to here today. Why I'm not buying Tesla stock. Now, in this video, I am going to basically kind of go through some different points that Joseph obviously makes in this video. And I have definitely some big disagreements, and I do think Joseph is bringing out some of the same talking points that I think a lot of folks have kind of reiterated.
Welcome back to Black Mountain Stocks. Today, I'm taking a look at Jeremy Lefebvre doing a reaction video on Joseph Carlson. Yes, it's a reaction to a reaction. But Jeremy Lefebvre, he's just out there in la la land investing blindly in any company, any story that he can get his hands on. He's the most gullible investor probably on YouTube. Let's take a listen and see what they got to say about Tesla.
Over the years when it comes to Tesla, right? And to be quite frank, let's just be honest, like Tesla's, a lot of people are trying to figure out right now, is Tesla a great stock to buy over this next 6 to 12 months, or is it a very bad buy and it's not a good deal and those sorts of things, right? And I think that's what everybody's trying to figure out. It's a super famous stock. It's given tremendous returns to investors over the past 5 years, over the past 10 years, and ever since the company went IPO essentially. And with the stock being down as much as it is this year, everybody's trying to figure out, is this a deal of the century? Should we be loading the boat over the next few months, or is this like a no-touch situation, right? And so I think it's a very interesting video to react to and for me to share my opinion on this, okay? Let me say a few things up front. First thing is I appreciate Joseph Carlson for coming out with a take that is contrarian to a lot of folks, right? It's why he's not buying Tesla stock. And so I always am appreciative whenever somebody goes against, I think kind of like the overall perspective maybe that's out there right now, right? And I know from the Wall Street side, they're in kind of a no-touch situation right now, but I think most folks on YouTube definitely are of the belief that Tesla's a great buy right now and should be for the next several months here, essentially, right? And Joseph Carlson, definitely one of my favorite YouTubers on the platform. I try to definitely check his channel every once in a while and check some of his videos out. And we have some stocks that we both invest in that are the same companies. Some stocks I'm invested in that he doesn't like. Some stocks he's invested in that I don't like. But there are several stocks I know that he owns that I also own. And I always appreciate his perspectives, and I love to kind of hear his take on whatever's going on out there. So, if I had to argue with somebody and debate somebody with stocks, he would definitely be up there. Maybe my second guy, probably like the second guy that if I was like somebody I'd love to just debate with on a consistent basis as a YouTuber, that is, right? I think he would probably be number two. I mean, we all know the number one would have to be Kevin, right? Because him and we just have a history of going back to Millennial Money, of debating stocks and the markets and all those sorts of things, right? But I think Joseph Carlson and I would be able to debate back and forth in a very respectful manner.
So, if you've gone back and you've looked at anything that Jeremy Lefebvre has invested in 2022, it's been an absolute nightmare. Most of his stocks are down over 50, 60%. I don't think anybody's really jumping at the bit to debate this guy about any stocks because most of his stocks are total losers
in regards to obviously stocks in the market, and I definitely always appreciate his take. So let's go ahead and get into this, guys, and let me know in the comment section kind of what your beliefs are around Tesla. Do you think this is a great buying opportunity over the next few months, or do you think it is definitely a no-touch situation over this next 6 to 12 months, essentially? Let's get into this.
My prediction, long term, that Tesla will be the most valuable company in the world.
Tesla will be the most valuable company in the world. That is what Elon Musk just said December 22nd. So that was very recent. Just this month, he repeated his prediction again that he thinks his company Tesla will become the most valuable.
Okay, at this point, nobody's really paying attention to what Elon Musk has to say about the future of Tesla because Elon Musk, his credibility has been totally lost.
Valuable company in the world. Now, he's even made comparisons that he thinks it will become worth more than Saudi Aramco, more than Apple, and more than all these other companies combined. A massive multi-trillion-dollar market cap company. And these predictions are ones that lots of people hold. We have Steven from Solving the Money Problem, a very popular channel on YouTube. He's basically all in on Tesla. That's been his portfolio for a long period of time. I think he's done really well on it. And his prediction is that Tesla, like Elon Musk, it will be the most valuable company in the world with a multi-trillion-dollar market cap. We have Jeremy from Financial Education just putting...
So first off, Stephen solving the money problem. I think he's arguably the most bullish bull on Tesla. I mean, some of his price predictions around Tesla, and if you go through his bull case and whatnot, they
but especially so over the past 6 months because of the breathtaking fall of the company. Now, I've seen a lot of dramatic falls of companies. We've seen Meta, we've seen PayPal, we've seen Netflix, we've seen a lot of companies fall, but none quite like Tesla, because the size of this company was massive. $1 trillion market cap, and it's down 73% year to date.
Meta was right around the same. If you look at how much market cap Meta lost, especially when those share price went down, Meta hit the 80s in the lows. It was in the 80s range. And so just because an industry hasn't been good traditionally doesn't mean it can't be extremely good. Okay. And so that's just something to kind of keep in mind there that I think maybe Joseph's, missing here. And I think a lot of people miss that.
Place to be. Car companies have low returns on capital employed that's also very sporadic. Car companies are capital intensive. They face intense competition. They're highly cyclical. They're sensitive to the economy. They sell a product that's not a recurring purchase. Rather, it's a one-time lumpy...
I believe the biggest thing that people are missing about Tesla when it comes to the price of the stock is, at the end of the day, Tesla is a car manufacturer. If you look at any of the car manufacturers out there, doesn't matter who it is, they're all under $100 per share. Most of them are like Ford's under $15, Neo, Rivian. They're all under about $20 right now. And that's because they're priced like car manufacturers and not technology companies. So that's the thing where Tesla has overpromised and underdelivered, is they have all this groundbreaking technology. Here's the thing. The competition, they have that same technology and they're advancing very quickly. Some of them are probably actually surpassing Tesla at this point.
Expense that the lifespan can be extended for years during economic slowness.
One of the great things about Tesla is how many little recurring things they're going to have in their business model. They already have and are going to expand. And I've been talking about some of these recently. Like both my Teslas, I have the $10 a month plan or whatever it is, $10, $12 a month for basically kind of like all the infotainment stuff for like satellite maps and streaming and music and all the different awesome little services like Tesla Arcade. You get all these different services for $10 or $12 a month, right? So basically Tesla makes $20-something a month from me, every single month, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of me's out there that are signed up for that, and there are going to be a lot more as more Teslas hit the road, right? Full self-driving is $199 a month. I'm sure there's going to be, especially as that technology gets better and better over the coming years, and there's more and more cars on the road, there's going to be a whole lot more people that will end up signing up for that at $199 a month, right? And so, you think about, obviously, if you're talking...
Imagine you're a 750 plus credit score rating, which is the highest score. Now imagine you come to buy a car and I offer you a 9% APR. Puke emoji. Rightfully so. Who wants a 9% interest rate on an auto loan? I don't need to say much more. High rates are killing the car business right now. They're crushing it.
He's 100% right. 100% right. There's no debating that, right? And Tesla, absolutely, at the end of the day, you build cars, and I've spoke about this several times on the channel recently, that's why I think Tesla's numbers are not going to be good in 2023. I really don't think they're going to be good in 2023. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see Tesla having a great 2023. I think their growth is probably I think Tesla over the next 5 years is probably going to grow at about a 32% clip on average. But I think in 2023, I believe the company's probably going to grow at about a 20% clip. That's kind of what my expectations are. I hope they grow faster than that, but I'm expecting actually 20% revenue growth, which is significantly under where analysts are at. Analysts, as of just a few weeks ago, were at nearly 40% revenue growth. So I'm at about half that, right? So I think that's just kind of something to factor
By the way, I just find this stuff so amazing and fascinating what we're able to create. It is incredible. I have to give Tesla engineers and the robotic engineers, I mean, this stuff is just fascinating.
To me, the most impressive things is drone work, man. Holy smokers, that's no jokers.
You know, I'm thinking about how they're filming this. Do they have some like world-class drone flyer in here just going in between the machines hoping not to get stamped by one of them? Impressive. They got someone good with it.
I'm sorry for stealing your thunder there, Joseph. I didn't know. I totally missed that part.
Around here. I really think so.
If you didn't know, a little fun fact about me, I used to be a drone pilot. Back when I had my real estate marketing company. So I was one of the first to, at least in Vegas, to actually implement drones.
Where he films in his studio. And I really liked him doing this because I think that he gave a very transparent, honest review of this. I thought it was very straightforward, and he describes the pros and cons of it. Now, this is him on the freeway, and he says that the best part of full self-driving, where it has it down best, is on the freeway. But he still describes the challenges with full self-driving.
That's where a lot of investors with Tesla got caught up in the hype, is the full self-driving. They made all these videos about how great it was and how easy it was, and then come to find out it's not very safe at all. There's been a lot of wrecks, and a lot of the full self-driving is not fully regulated yet. There's going to be a lot of laws regarding this technology, and if it's not up to par, this will not be on the highways and the streets anytime soon, unless it's all the bugs are fully pulled out of all the issues with this full self-driving.
I'm going to show you actually what it's showing me on the screen, which is it's kind of picking a spot right now. Wow, that is assertive. That was an assertive move right there. Okay. That qualifies as assertive.
So he's saying it's assertive. Tesla, it was trying to get into this lane. It needed to, so it really cut in front of someone.
To be fair, if I recall, MKBHD put the car in like some sort of assertive mode or something like that when he was doing this, so it would make those sorts of moves. Like you can have it in.
Cool. I think it's very impressive, but I don't think it's a home run right now. It's not gotten to the last step of being totally, fully autonomous and not having anyone have to interact as it's driving. And at the same time, again, if we're asking the question between the Tesla and different vehicles, a lot of vehicles can aid drivers on the freeway. Just like the strongest point of full self-driving, there's many cars now that have cameras and sensors, and they realign trucks, they realign cars if they're starting to.
Exactly. The technology is catching up. These other manufacturers, these other car companies, they are producing these same type of technology out there.
Go off the road. They warn about trucks. They'll automatically press the brake if you get too close to another car. I've actually seen that happen where a non-Tesla vehicle slams the brakes because a car in front of it is getting.
It's branded as electric vehicle and drives you. All these other companies have to try to prove and overweigh that of like, hey, we make electric vehicles too. Hey, we can do some driving features for you, right? And that's hard when you're coming as like the guy that's trying to be like, hey, look at me, versus a guy like, I am that guy, right? So I just think that's something else we have to factor in there that I don't think is another thing that's talked about enough.
Tesla right now is that if it's not full self-driving, then it's something other than full self-driving. And that has huge implications. Tesla cannot run a robo-taxi network. They can't have the massive economics implied in a lot of valuations unless it's credible what they've accomplished. I'm glad the company exists, but when you're paying for a stock, you're paying a price, a set price for the market cap. Right now, Tesla's a $350 billion company. And
by the way, and I can show you a lot of videos where people are sleeping while their Teslas drive them around, right? You know what I mean? Like we can pull these different videos and show these different things, right? Some people feel so comfortable that literally they'll sleep while the Tesla drives them. I do not advocate for that. I wouldn't personally do it, but there's a lot of people out there that literally they'll just sleep. And that's why Tesla had to add in that feature where you have to move the steering wheel a little bit essentially, because people would literally just have the car drive them around and just be sleeping. That's a little wild for me, but people do it.
A lot of the thesis surrounding the implied market cap.
That's not true at all.
And these huge predictions about a multi-trillion-dollar company, or in Elon Musk's words, the biggest company in the world, I think it's difficult to get behind it, at least for me. I don't see Teslas having unlimited demand. I see them being affected by interest rates and being sensitive to the economy. I don't see Tesla's manufacturing process as all that different than competitors. I don't see full self-driving as really being full self-driving. I see it as something cool, but it's not autonomous driving quite yet. And I think the company's valuation implies something that I'm not seeing with the fundamentals of the company. And if Tesla is a tech company, we can compare it from not even...
So Tesla stock is over $100 right now. It's fallen from $400 per share all the way down to $112, $120 a share right now. So the valuation has come down, but Joseph Carlson is not willing to get in the stock. I believe maybe if this stock goes down to $50, $60, I might see Joseph Carlson jumping on the Tesla bandwagon. So I'm just going to put that out there. If later on he sees this stock crumble down to $50, $60 a share, he may change his mind based on the valuation of Tesla.
In car companies, but we can compare it to other tech companies. Let's compare Tesla to Adobe, for example. Adobe trades at a cheaper price based on next year's PE ratio. Even if Tesla outperforms and does $5 in earnings per share next year, higher than most analysts' expectations.
Let's go through that, right? And where those companies are valued at PE-wise, forward PE-wise, right? Trailing 12 month, let's look at that.
Revenue is almost entirely reoccurring. It's almost all subscription-based. Tesla's is off of large, lumpy sales of vehicles, which are difficult to sell during economic slowness. We have Adobe's free cash flow, incredibly good. High free cash flow growth, and low amounts of stock-based compensation, similar to Tesla. But again, very good free cash flow growth while being subscription-based and not having as much cyclicality. Adobe has been doing share buybacks while Tesla has been diluting the shareholder, issuing more shares. Adobe has higher returns on capital employed by quite a bit. Adobe has higher gross margins. Adobe has higher operating margins. Adobe has higher profit margins all across the board. And they're very consistent because, again, it's a subscription tech company selling software. So I don't know what I'm missing here, but when I look at this, I'd rather just buy something like Adobe than something like Tesla. That's my thoughts for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think.
I think you're missing a lot in all due respect there, Joseph Carlson, sir. I think you missed a lot.
Okay, guys, you've seen it. Jeremy Lefebvre, the most gullible investor out there in the retail trading world. He wants Joseph Carlson to be all over this Tesla stock so he can have somebody to point to, hey, look, this guy likes Tesla too. And nobody's willing to take the bait on Tesla because the valuation just keeps dropping. Nobody knows where it's going to end up. It could end up at $20, $30 a share in a year or so. In 2024, the manufacturers are coming in the EV space, and that's internationally and here in the US. So, guys, if you like this kind of content, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one on Black Mountain Stocks.